Okay, and we have countdown, and we're off.
All right, we are off levels 8 to 11, 36 viruses needed to advance to level 9, and both players off to a great start. Leviticus with a lower top line, and it looks like there's a bit of a well opened up in column 5 for Frank. Seems to have plugged it off, but has fixed it again, but really can't make anything with it, and now is being handed a pretty yellow-heavy top line. Meanwhile, Leviticus has a pretty diverse board. He's now got access to stuff along the bottom row, as he's starting to look for patterns and strategies here, as he maintains a 2-virus lead. Now has increased that to a 4-virus lead over the 1 seed.
I think at this point in the match, we're not going to be seeing big differences in viruses, given that these two players know what they're doing. So yeah, it's going to be farther down the line where we might be able to see a bigger difference in their counts.
And something that Dimwit pointed out yesterday is Frank is one of those speed players where if something's going wrong, you're usually resetting. You're starting over. You don't have that luxury here. You've got to play out whatever maybe get dealt to you. So it's really all about adapting to adverse situations, adverse RNG. Right now, Leviticus maintaining a bit of a lead, and it looks like he's going to be out first. We can't quite see his timer, but we'll say it's around a minute and a half. Frank just needs a couple of reds, and he will be out. He's not getting them, though. There's 1, there's 2. Now he just needs the 3rd. And boom, off he goes at a minute 46. And thanks to everybody. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say definitely getting hit there a little bit by the RNG, but Frank already to a great starter.
Meanwhile, Leviticus maintaining a handful of virus lead. He's cleaned that spire up a little bit, John. Leviticus dealing with a blue and red top line right now. Not a lot of yellows left to play with.
Yeah, most of the yellow is covered on that left side. Okay, he manages to open it right now, but yeah, he has a little bit of a spire there, but underneath it, there's not a lot of other viruses that he has to worry about. So Leviticus in a good spot right now. Meanwhile, Frank having to deal with a lot of blue viruses, and right now is when the correct pills are coming his way.
And also a misplay in 7 and 8. That yellow-red, that's a bit brutal. He may have been trying to go for a clear underneath to get that blue. Didn't quite get it. He's going to have to work around it. This is giving Leviticus a lot more time to really start going to town here. He's going to need to clear out garbage to really get anything going. The good news for Leviticus is he just needs 2 reds and he'll be out. It's a 4-virus lead. And a rough final half dozen for Frank. He's got them a bit spread out and a bit of garbage everywhere. Leviticus out at about a 319. And we're working on getting a timer from Leviticus. So we will have that information for you. But meanwhile, Leviticus starting to go to town here on level number 10. He's got to get 40 more viruses and he'll be out. They start with 44. And a separation of blues and a bit of a dangerous situation for Frank. You do not want to top out on 9. He won't. He'll be out at a 346. But right now, Leviticus has this well in hand, up by almost double digits over the 1 seed.
Yeah, right now, that misdrop that Frank had earlier on level 9, that's the thing that opened up an already big advantage that Leviticus had when starting level 9. Now on level 10, he's about 10 viruses ahead of Frank.
Leviticus's other big problem right now is his top line is exclusively red. And anything he has no access to blue, so he's really trying to make do with what he has here. He's got an opportunity to go for a quad clear. He does take it. He's down to 20. Frank has managed to close the gap now down to 8 viruses, but Frank's got a sloping board and a big spire. You don't want spire stacking up that high on your extreme edges like he has in column 8.
Yeah, because that means that there's going to be a lot of drop time, and that's the main killer for these players. You don't want to be giving any time to your opponent to bring it back.
And a great drop from Leviticus. He got himself a quad horizontal, turned that into a 5 combo. He's opened that lead back up to double digits. An absolute monster of a combo. And now down to 6 viruses is Leviticus. Frank's starting to go to town. He's going to drop a T down. He's now down to 13. But Leviticus, just absolutely brilliant endgame strategy right now, John. He's going to be out here relatively quickly, and he's got one of every virus, which you love to have in an endgame.
Yeah, Leviticus here just trying to keep everything set up just to wait for that one pill. Couldn't use that double red in the end, but another red was coming after the blue that he needed to finish that level 11.
And meanwhile, at a 5:43, Frank is out. So, and Frank started a little bit or a little bit later. So we'll have to let that time run out if Leviticus finishes first. It's a 4 virus lead as Leviticus struggling here early on, a big red heavy top line as he's just trying to get something going. He's going to try to drop some stuff down. This double red is huge. He's going to have to bracket clear that garbage, but he's still maintaining a pretty good lead over the 1 seed right now.
Yeah, I mean, both of our players dealing with top lines that are not very varied. Frank having a lot of blue on the top line, finally being able to carve down a little bit of it. And meanwhile, Leviticus with a bit of a spire there that he's managing now to bring down. Not a lot of yellow on his top line, though.
Leviticus is going to be hunting out for a double red. Let's see if he goes for that quad. He is. That's going to open the lead back up to 10. A huge clear. His board split, not a lot of red, but great RNG, and he's doing great job with what I like to call is treeing down, where he makes that center column a garbage color, but everything that's going to fall is going to land on the right color. Tucks out that red away. He's down to his final red. It's 23 of 15. John, looking at Frank's board, it's everything floating with that open row 1. That equals drop time.
Yeah, I think that Frank is trying to set up something, waiting just for the right pills to come down and manage to get some place there on the blues. But you can only set up so much, and then you have to either burn down whatever setup you have or start making a pile somewhere else. And I think the things aren't coming the right way. Meanwhile, Leviticus just 1 virus away from victory.
Leviticus here is playing absolutely brilliantly. He just needs that last red or yellow. He's out at a 744, and he hung one up on Frank in this round 2. A huge win for Leviticus. Frank just could not get anything going.
Yeah, I mean, this is what makes this game different from just speedrunning. You also have to get a little bit lucky, of course, to get a board that you can get rid of very quickly, but also know how to deal with mistakes that will happen, not being able to reset, like we mentioned earlier, and just keep on going forward with whatever board you have at that point.
Meanwhile, Frank gonna run this one out here. Looking like he's maybe going for swag. We'll see what happens here as Frank trying to get that last yellow, and he's going to get it. Oh, but he misplays, and there it is at an 842. So an almost full minute victory for Leviticus, but he is up 1-0 over the 1 seed.
Yeah, even though all Frank's board was all very compact and just waiting for it to just trigger, he couldn't find the right pills, and that's something here in Dr. Mario. When you don't get the right pills and you're just hanging on that combo, that might just make it so you go slow down too much and cannot recover, as happened in this game.
We're waiting on readies from both players. We have 3 more matches after this, don't forget, folks. So stick around.
Okay, and we have readies from both for players, and we're starting the countdown. 3, 2, 1, and
we are off.
There we go.
Leviticus going to start first. Frank a little bit behind. Leviticus already off to a blazing start, having to deal with a little bit of early garbage, maintaining a good tree here to get things off. A little bit dangerous on that top line. Going to have to get rid of that garbage, and he does. Not a lot of blue to work with here on this top line, so we're going to start seeing some creative moves from Leviticus. Meanwhile, looking at Frank's board, Frank down to 30 in the early lead here. Having a bit of a similar issue, really not able to start getting that top line whittled down, but he is making do, starting to work hard on that left side, is starting to balance things out on the right here, and Frank has opened up to a huge lead here as it's a 10 virus lead, not even 45 seconds in.
Yeah, and not only a huge virus lead, but also the Frank's board is pretty open. Most of the viruses are reachable from various parts, so every pill should be usable here for Frank. Meanwhile, Leviticus getting stuck because not getting a lot of. I think he needs yellows and reds. Blues are currently not something he's looking for.
He is managing to recover, though, but Frank has taken a huge early lead, and it's so hard to recover from those leads. You really have to hope that some bad RNG comes your opponent's way, because giving up 10 viruses this early on as we get a sweet tea from Leviticus, and he is down to 15, now down to 14, really, really sets the pace here. And I think also Frank probably a little bit more motivated after that rough first game.
Definitely, and I mean, I hope that Leviticus is just getting out the bad RNG in this one level, and then the next ones are much more manageable than this. Still struggling to get below 10 viruses, as Frank is already making quick progress of his board.
Frank has a very double-friendly board out there on that right side, and if he can get himself a tuck, he's going to go horizontal here. This is an interesting choice. We'll see how that works out. I don't know if he was trying to tuck that one back. We'll see, but that's a bad place for a double blue to be sitting.
I think that what he's trying to do, or what he was trying to do, is to use the triple red that was on top of that blue virus to drop it on the virus below, but it didn't happen, and he had to just come up with something else.
Frank playing a bit dangerously, but he's going to get 2 yellows off the board. Leviticus out at 234, down by 17 viruses. Frank gets that horizontal clear he's looking for with the blue, and is currently maintaining a great lead. But Frank is playing on high speed, so you really have to be careful about that tuck. He's going to get it, but that's a very, very dangerous play.
Yeah, definitely. Frank is playing on high. That's a bit against what he does usually. I know that speedrunning he goes on medium, so maybe trying to use also the advantage of the pills dropping much faster. But I mean, you have to practice it. Otherwise, then you're going to make a lot more mistakes.
Meanwhile, Frank looking for not going to get the horizontal. But he is firmly in the lead here, as he's going to clear 9 with a little over 3.5 minutes on his clock. Yeah, there it is at 3:33. So a big lead here for Frank, as Leviticus just trying to get through the stage. Has a good board, has been playing a really strong 9. Just hasn't been getting good RNG, and I think that he might be a little tilted from that 8.
Yeah, definitely, but Leviticus just has to shake it. I think he's doing a good job. Frank was much farther into level 9 when he was on 10 viruses or less, so Leviticus just waiting for some red in order to check out this board, and the red surge coming right on time.
All right, we're getting word from chat that there may have been a timer stoppage from Frank, so we'll verify times if they get close. We really appreciate y'all pointing that out in the chat. But meanwhile, Frank is doing really well. He's running out of yellow access, which is going to be a big problem for him. But he is making some stuff work here, dropping that yellow down, and going to have to deal with that yellow garbage in the corner. But actually, he does with that horizontal clear. So he's going to clear out almost all of his yellows. This is an opportunity for Leviticus, I would think, to start making a move here, because this is a really awkward board position if you're Frank. You're trying to focus so much on getting things cleared. You haven't addressed that garbage, but it looks like he is starting to work on it. Leviticus being forced to have to play tactically, having to tuck things in, while tuck plays are really great strategically, they do eat up so much time. When you have to do them repeatedly, it adds up.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, well, Leviticus just not a lot of blue to play with, and of course, all the blues are coming out, and double blues and blues with yellow, which it's very difficult to find a place where they are useful. But getting creative.
And Frank is playing absolutely phenomenally right now. 42 viruses to go here on 11, looking to close this out, force that third game. Excuse me. If you're Leviticus, are you really? If you know you're behind, are you just trying to maintain pace, just try to keep your rhythm going, knowing that this is likely going to a third game, or are you hoping for a misplay?
I mean, you have to keep on playing it. I think you go a bit more aggressive. Of course, that means you might do some mistakes, but you have to do what you can do. So, not hoping for a misplay, rather just go a bit more aggressive.
Leviticus is pinned into that right corner with all that garbage, and it's almost exclusively red, which isn't making matters much better for him. But it's going to take 2 clears here. Not able to get it with the 1. But Leviticus will be out of 10 at 6:45. But Frank's just 15 viruses away here from sealing the deal here on this second game in this best of 3. And, taking a look at this board, Frank's got some spires to deal with. A great combo from Leviticus as he's trying to hang in there down by a little less than 30 viruses as Frank just continually going on with this big speed here.
Yeah, Frank having a bit of a misplay there, and that might be what Leviticus is asking for. But I mean, he doesn't have to just hang on to that. Just keep on going, and I think Leviticus is pushing stronger than before, but a lot of yellow on his top line. That's not helping matters.
Ooh, and a big clustered cross clear. Just all sorts of stuff happening on Leviticus's board. But at a 7:35, game number 2 going to Frank. And Leviticus has 1 game to win, and so does Frank, as it is now tied.
And Leviticus just takes the not even the top out. He just resets the console because he knows that there's no way that he can catch up to Frank. So yeah, game number 2 going to Frank, and we're going to a decider on this round 2.
All right, we have a ready from Frank. We're just waiting on a ready from Leviticus. Leviticus has given us that ready, and yeah, Frank, don't worry about it. We can adjust the time later on, but it is currently 1-1 as we have readies from both players. Benji's going to start us off. 3, 2, 1, and go. This third and final game here in this second round match between the 1 seed Frank, the 9 seed Leviticus. Frank on your left, Leviticus on your right, and both players have a large row of viruses that they're going to need to deal with, and both players starting off pretty strong.
Both players doing a great job of just making more diverse top line. Getting rid of that one line as you mentioned, and I think here comes Leviticus with a beautiful combo into a triple.
Leviticus holding on to an early 5 virus lead and really being incredibly efficient with a very, very clean board. Hasn't had to really even deal with a lot of garbage. Same for Frank. Frank's got a good, clean board. He's managed to whittle Leviticus's lead down to 3 as Leviticus playing with a very blue-heavy board right now, but that L is going to put him down into near single digits. He's now in single digits as we approach the minute mark here. And I think Leviticus eyeballing that horizontal, he's going to get it and sets it up beautifully and is really just being as efficient as he possibly can. Just needs to clear that last blue in 7 column 7 rather, and he is free and clear. And now he is free and clear. It's 5-4, now 3-4. Frank now down to his last virus, but Leviticus here. It looks like his screen's frozen up. We will get back to it, but at a 119, Frank absolutely torching level 8. But Leviticus not far behind. He just needs to get those 3 viruses. But Frank already down pressing like a madman here as we get to level 9.
Yeah, Frank has a very nice board for speed running here. A lot of doubles and making those setups. I think he's going to go for a lot of horizontals on those yellows from what I can see.
Great drop cross here from Frank. That puts him down to 24 viruses. Leviticus had a hard time getting out of 8 after such a strong start, but here he goes now, starting to really pour on the speed here as he is down by about 20 viruses. He needs to start stepping things up here. He had such a good opening showing against Frank, and he's now starting to make moves here, making some very efficient plays, getting that top line whittled down, but that almost exclusive red top line is going to start hampering the 9 seed.
Yeah, I mean, getting some nice combos there, horizontal combos to open up some of the other columns. And I mean, now getting again stuck with not a lot of red pills coming his way. So yeah, that's giving Frank a chance to open up the advantage a lot more.
And Leviticus is really having to work with that. It's hard red on that right side. Meanwhile, Frank down to his final 2 viruses, and it looks like he may do the horizontal play for both of them. And there it is. He's out at a 3:02, absolutely going through this at a 6-9 pace right now, immediately going for that horizontal clear to start his 10. 2 levels for Frank. About 2 1/4 left for Leviticus, as he is trying to get this last bit of level 9 out of the way. And a good drop there. He's going to be down to 8, now down to 7. Great playing from both players. Frank starting to really get some moves here as he gets that lightning bolt on the right side. 26 viruses to go for Frank. Frank playing with that speed. I think he's got the cobwebs out or something, but absolutely playing brilliantly right now. He's about to drop a whole bunch of yellow down. Not going to really do anything to help clear stuff, but opens up the board now. Not quite free and clear. He's got a lot of stuff in that right corner as Leviticus is going to get a 1 pill clear as he gets a whole bunch of combos. That's not when you want combos. Out at a 4:01. It is a 28 virus lead for Frank as we get to the 4 1/4 minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, Frank just not making a lot of mistakes, really, any that I can mention in this last match, and he has everything set up for those 2 columns that were full of yellow, just getting them done very quickly. And I mean, setting up also that beautiful end game. There we go, just setting that red horizontal.
Brilliant setup for both of those other 2 viruses. Out at 4:38 right now. If you're wondering what the hot time is for this level block, it's certainly at a fast or a slower pace than what Frank is playing right now. Good Lord. Just to take a look here, the record for round 2 is a 6:44 by Dimwit, followed by a 6:58 from Packy. So very much in the realm of possibility if you're Frank. He's getting through 11. Leviticus, very, very close to getting out of level number 10. He's just needing a few more, 1 red and a couple of yellows, and he will be out. And now just needing 1 of each.
Yeah, there we go. Leviticus is going to be out at 5:24, and I mean, Frank has already opened a big gap between these 2 players, almost half a board away from what Leviticus is doing, but having a bit of a misplay there with that red-yellow and addressing it very quickly, but that's going to give Leviticus a bit of time to bring it back.
Meanwhile, 38 viruses to go here on 11. Leviticus starting to make a strong effort here, down by only 15 viruses. That margin was 28 at one point. So Leviticus playing incredibly strong here. And the other thing you got to realize about Frank's board, Frank has, now that he's opened that up, but he had a static row of viruses through row 3. Very, very difficult to play alongside here. I do see what could be Frank eyeballing a combo. Didn't quite go for it. It's 14-25 now. While it is a split board, Leviticus finding plays, playing incredibly aggressively, just trying to hang on to his tournament life here as we approach the 6.5 minute mark. It is 8 viruses to go for Frank. It is 18 viruses to go for Leviticus. Leviticus staging an absolute monster of a comeback here as it's now a 9 virus lead. We're approaching the 7 minute mark. Frank almost with an exclusively blue board, but a really efficient blue board. He set himself up for a lot of combos. He's got a big 1 pill clear if he wants it to just completely obliterate that last row. But it looks like it's almost single digits.
That's a big T from Frank.
Big T. That's the sweetest T. Frank wins with a 653. Leviticus with an absolute monster of a 10 and 11. Couldn't quite close the gap, but hanging one up on the 1 seed, especially when he's been playing at a torrid pace like that, is absolutely brilliant.
And I mean, that's going to be our second hottest time from Frank there. So, I mean, what can you do if you're Leviticus? I mean, Leviticus played really well that one game. I mean, 7-20, 20, okay, 20, okay, 30 for this last game. I mean, it's a great time, but against that hot time, there's not a lot that you can do.